All right. The topic for our today's class is simple sentences. So first of all, tell me what is a simple sentence? What do you think is a sentence? The answer is a sentence is a group of words that tell us about someone or something. Okay? It is a group of words. We combine certain words to make a complete sentence. A sentence can also ask you about someone or something. In English language, we have four types of sentences, right? And they all have a different function. Today, we will be studying one type, which is the simple sentences. A sentence can explain something that is happening. It can tell you about somebody. For example, it can tell you that Ali is a good boy. It can tell you what is happening. For example, it is raining outside, or it is very sunny outside. It may also ask about someone or something. For example, it can ask you, who is that boy? Or is it raining outside? Okay? There are many types of sentences and they all have a specific function. A sentence must start with a capital letter. It should end with a punctuation, either a full stop if it is a simple sentence, either a question mark if it is a question, or with an exclamation mark, right? It should have a subject. Subject means the noun which is performing the action. It should have a verb. A verb is an action word. And it should form a complete thought. मतलब it should tell you the exact meaning. उसमें बात पूरी आपकी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है? उसमें अगर आप एक चीज डिस्कस कर रहे हो तो वो चीज कंप्लीटली डिस्कस होनी चाहिए, वरना वो इनकम्प्लीट होगा. इट विल नॉट बी अ सेंटेंस बिकॉज इट विल नॉट मेक सेंस. Simple sentences are independent clauses which has one subject, one verb, and one clause. It must also have a complete thought. Simple sentences are those sentences which have one subject, one verb, and are complete sentences. Okay? They have a complete thought. Examples: Marty ate lunch, the boy ran fast, Mr. Lopez is a teacher, she studies hard, the children play basketball. Now, if you look at these five sentences, they all have one or the other noun, the subject. For example, now see, Marty is your subject, the boy is your subject, Mr. Lopez, she, the children, these are all subject. Now, if you look at the verbs, they all have a simple verb. Ate, ran, is a helping verb. Studies, play, okay, and they all are complete. They all make complete sense. Now, we can use, okay. Now, simple sentences, sometimes they look very boring. ठीक है, वो बहुत सिंपल होते हैं, बहुत बोरिंग होते हैं. हाउ कैन यू मेक देम अ लिटिल मोर एक्साइटिंग एंड अ लिटिल मोर एक्सप्रेसिव? You can use adjectives, you can use adverbs, and you can use different types of phrases to make them a bit more interesting to write and to read. For example, this is a sentence which is called "The boy walked." Now, this is a complete sentence. It makes complete sense. You know what is happening. There is a boy who was walking. But this sentence is not very expressive. It's not very interesting. Now, if I write here, the young boy walked, by adding an adjective, this sentence has become more expressive. It gives us more information about the boy. An adjective is any word that tells you more about the noun. It describes the quality of the noun. Adjective is a noun describing word. Any word that gives you more information about the noun is an adjective. Now, for example, the young boy walked happily. By adding an adverb is a word that tells you more about the action. An action is happening. Walking is the action. How is he walking? He is walking happily. So this word happily is the adverb. If we add an adverb, it makes the sentence much more interesting. ठीक है, हमें थोड़ी और डिटेल्स मिल जाती है कि एक एक्शन हो रहा है, but how is it happening? The young boy walked happily to school. Now this is a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is of direction. We get a better idea of where the boy walked. So yeah, we will study this in the topics of phrases later on. So I'm not going into details for this right now. The young boy walked happily to school early in the morning. Now this is a phrase, a prepositional phrase of time that tells you when this action was happening. All right. Now see, there is a sentence here. The dog barked. This is a simple sentence, makes complete sense. It has a noun, it has a verb, but it is a very boring sentence. If I add here, the old dog barked endlessly throughout the night. The old dog barked endlessly throughout the night. How did he bark? He barked non-stop throughout the night. Okay. Now I have a sentence here called the children play. But if I add here, the young children played together every day before noon, it makes the sentence much more interesting. It makes the sentence easier to read, and it has a little more detail to it. Professor Martin ran. Okay, Professor Martin, teacher Martin ran. This is your noun and this is the verb. But if I add here, Professor Martin ran crazily down the street last night, it tells you more details. आपको थोड़ी और clearer picture मिलती है about this action that is happening. All right.